Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. This will be the last part on this topic that I'm gonna tackle. And basically this will be dedicated to actually answer the question who should or shouldn't try the artisanal perfumery. Let's call it a summarized video of the previous two. And so, let's say more condensed thoughts and a little bit less of babbling. Basically, one thing I'm not trying to say is that maybe especially from the last video, some people got an idea that I say that niche perfumery is all bad. And that's not what I'm saying. I prepared the exposition, let's say, of a few niche brands that I believe, at least at some point, were excellent. Some of them still are, but not to the extent they used to be. So the examples you have here before you is Roger Dove, Tom Ford, Frederic Malle, Serge Lutens, and Creed. My guilty pleasure, my first love, Creed. Sadly, stories of these brands have also shifted to the worse side. Frederic Malle was forced out of his own brand because he was not in agreement with the new direction of the house. Direction everybody is heading towards. Creed was sold multiple times and is also heading the same direction as Frederic Malle. I could have an homage bottle here as well, it was an excellent house, but also heading the same direction as the previous two. Roger Dove doing crazy stuff. I'm not sure I can still trust the quality there because, I don't know. I talked about it in my Roger video. The bottle designs have changed the cheap. They flooded the grey market. But still, if we are talking about a little bit older bottles, it was a good quality niche fragrance. Serge Lutens is a complete legend. Again, like with all these brands, I recommend going with a little bit older bottles. Maybe not as old as this one, but with the white sticker is fine also. But yes, don't get me wrong, over the years there were plenty of amazing niche houses out there, and even today there are still few houses that if they release something new I at least try to check out. Frederic Malle would be one of those, but latest releases didn't impress me, especially the Hope. It's just a promise with 3 times bigger price tag. I think after Frederic Malle left we should look out what Frederic Malle is doing next, just like we should look out what Homage is doing next and Creed is doing next, and everybody is doing their best initial impression, which is sad. But again, my main point, there are good niche fragrances out there, as there are plenty of bad artisanal fragrances out there. I won't name drop anybody here because, well, they are artisanal creators, they're doing their best. And if that best subpar, that's maybe just a process of learning. Maybe they will do something excellent in the future, and then I will look like an asshole bashing this little guy. I don't want to do that here. In individual fragrances, if I do a review of an artisanal house individual fragrance that I don't like, I will say it. But in general, just say that some artisanal house is pure trash, and I'm not gonna do it here. Anyways, so who of you should go artisanal, and maybe who of you should just try to find, let's say, older versions of good niche fragrances, and what does that even mean? Well, there are two camps of people, I guess. One camp is people who look at fragrances as a commodity, as a luxury good, as a everyday thing, like shampoo, like gas, like soap, like clothes, just an everyday commodity you use. And if you have more money, you use a more expensive one. If you have less money, you use a cheaper one, or not at all. They don't view perfumery as form of art. They do not have this parallel comparison with music, with paintings, with anything like that. They just look at it as a consumable, and that's that. If you're that kind of person, and then I'm surprised you're watching this video, but if you are that and you recognize yourself as that, you're not artsy. You just want to smell good to your wife or to your potential girlfriend, and you just want to garner positive feedback, and then most of this artisanal realm will be not for you. You won't understand it, you won't like it, you shouldn't waste your time or money to force yourself to like something you don't. If that's you, by all means, go with regular niche. Don't waste your time, don't waste your money. We are the strange ones here, and you're the regular person, let's say. Not in a bad way. It's normal. Like there are plenty of fields where people are very particular. They like something very niche, and I have no clue. For example, myself, I enjoy a good glass of whiskey, but there's some. I talked with my friend when he's a collector of whiskey bottles, and they are bottles for 10 or 100,000 euros or something like that. I probably couldn't even tell if I drank something worth $1,000 or $30. The difference between $30 and $100, I would probably feel the difference here, but between $100 and $1,000, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't. So yeah, if you're here just because it was recommended on your feed, and you're enjoying your Naxos or something from Initio, good for you. Save your time, save your money, stay there. But if you're a type of person who is a little bit artistic, not autistic, artistic, also autistic probably works. But yeah, if you're that kind of person, then you were main people I see that transfer from regular niche fragrances to artisanal fragrances are the people who are actually into vintage, because in the old days they were using the natural materials a lot more than they're using now, vintage Guerlains, stuff like that, and they just didn't know that this type of perfumery still exists. They just basically gave up on every new modern release, and they are just in their vintage cave buying their vintage bottles. So if you are that kind of person, welcome here, welcome to the channel. And I think you're the straight up targeted demographic of consumers for these artisanal houses. Many of them follow the French style of perfuming to the best of their ability, because most of them are self-taught perfumers. So you probably won't get your Rudnitska levels of blending in artisanal, but at least the materials will speak for themselves. And I love that many of these most successful perfumers, like Russian Adam, like Ansar, and some others, more often than not, they understand their limitations and they just let the material speak for them. Some find it as a negative, but for me personally, it's a positive. It's very good to know your own limitations, and yes, it is good to try and create something revolutionary, and they try to do that from time to time, and they succeed from time to time. But also not overdoing it and letting the most precious thing in this juice, the materials, the oud, the musk, to do their job is also very positive feat, in my opinion, because that's why we're here. We're all here because the musk, the oud, stuff like that. So yeah, if you're the artistic type of person and maybe you have not tried artisanal just because you're stuck in your vintage. I don't mean stuck in the bad way, you're just enjoying your vintage fragrances. I think you can try to recapture the flame, recapture the love with artisanal. That's exactly what happened to me. If not of discovering of Bortnikov, I was my 1 foot out of this hobby because nothing new excited me. Everything smelled the same synthetic musk, molecule-based stuff everywhere. Different house, different name, same shit. And then I discovered Bortnikov. I'm very sad on what's happening to Bortnikov today. You can see my take in depth on the review where I talk about Wood Maximus. But basically, we see a person taking his brand from artisanal to mass market. I'm interested to see what will happen, but as of now, I actually do not consider new Bortnikov to be artisanal anymore. It's an interesting experiment. I will be interested to see. So maybe on that point, if you are very deep into niche perfumery, because to go from niche to artisanal, it's difficult. Our brain doesn't know what's going on. We are trained like puppies to enjoy the synthetical molecules because that's all we got in our stores. And to come back to real thing, to real natural ingredients, most people brains can't comprehend. What I have noticed with myself, if I smell something new I have never smelled before, my mind starts and tries to find something familiar to associate with immediately. And if that association is bad, the fragrance automatically you don't like it. And given that the raw natural materials were a lot more used in vintage fragrances back in the day, many people, when they smell a natural fragrance, their first association is with their grandpa, their old farm, old apartment, something like that, something from the past. And automatically that's almost always a negative reaction. So if you're for the first time smelling an artisanal fragrance, most of the time chances are you won't like it. Just because your brain, your nose needs time to develop. It's not something you can just pick up. Go straight from Sauvage to something from Areej le Dore is basically impossible. So on that note, I think to go, for example, from Naxos or something like that to modern Bortnikov as your first stepping stone to artisanal, it's a pretty good idea, I think. Now and then, when he's using synthetic musks, you will find yourself in a very familiar territory. He still uses some of the natural ingredients, so you will, let's say, ease yourself into this artisanal world, and maybe you will learn, you will understand little by little, not all at once. So in that case, if you want to transition, Bortnikov, even new Bortnikov, is I think very good choice. After that, I would say try older Bortnikovs, because they are also, even the quality is amazing, but they're still pretty appealing to regular nose. Bortnikov was an amazing perfumer. I have talked about this in every video. The talent he had was bigger than Adam, bigger than Ansar. I'm very sad what is happening now, but that's the truth. So if it's a very good stepping stone from niche to artisanal. So new Bortnikov, then old Bortnikov, and then you can dive deeper. Small samples might not work, because one sniff also probably won't be enough. So sample at least 2 mils, I think, would be optimal with every brand. Whatever, that's off the topic. So yeah, there are good niche brands, there are bad niche brands, there are good artisanal brands, there are bad artisanal brands, there are middle ground brands, like Bortnikov now, sadly. Overall, it depends on your own outlook. It's all smelly water. It's all in one's head. It's all in eye of a perceiver. If you see value in this art form, artisanal and vintage are the only two ways to go these days, in my opinion. If you just want to smell good, you don't care about any of these concepts, any of these ideas, any of the artistic part of this hobby, just go with the cheapest smell you enjoy and your wife approves. There's no point in wasting time with overthinking something that you don't really deeply care about. And I understand that this is the most of the world. It's all fine. The day when artisanal becomes new niche, and that's, at least with Bortnikov, it's the way we're going, it seems, this will be a sad day. In my opinion, this will be a sad day. Because when everybody is unique, no one is. When everybody is pretentious and pretending to be artistic but actually just profit-driven, everybody loses. Nobody wins in that situation. So, in the final ending topics, notes of this whole, let's say, video series now, I'm happy that artisanal perfumery is now more alive than ever. New brands appear out of nowhere. It seems every month. If I would be a rich man, I would try all of the fragrances in artisanal realm that are coming out. That's my wish. I can't. I'm not. But there are many people. The group of artisanal fragrance love enjoyers it's not huge, but it's not small. We are extremely passionate. And if you watching this video, you have a desire to start a brand, to mix something, do it. I never imagined I will be talking in front of a camera on a YouTube video about fragrances. That's not what I ever imagined to happen. Here I am. I'm not successful, I'm not making money or anything like that. That's not the point. And that, I guess, not the point for a person who is wanting to mix something for himself. But I just wish that this part of perfumery would never get commercialized, and we see that happening right now, and it's alarming to me. So if you're watching this video and you're thinking to mix something, to try something, do it. Just do it. Every single person there on the Olympic mountain top, they started from nothing. They didn't start in grass learning perfumery, they started in their basement mixing some stuff. This hobby needs you. The people who are wearing niche and they don't care about this shit, they don't need you. It's fine. But there are people who need you and need new houses, new perfumers, new ideas. I'm rooting for you, and I hope you will start a brand today. Do it. Just do it. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I'm gonna get some tea and maybe get well soon enough. Thank you for watching this video. Please have a good evening. Enjoy your artisanal fragrances and have a good day. Bye.